Welcome to greencardguys.tv. You need to know this. Do not give up on your legal status. Many people fail to respond to RFE or file an application before the deadline. This is why we offer a strategy session for 15 minutes at no cost to you. Not everyone qualifies. First, you need to speak with our CARES team. We receive many requests, so we recommend you answer a few questions on our website, greencardguys.com. Our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. Go ahead and subscribe below and follow and share. Talk to you soon. What's going on? My name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in the United States to help you secure your legal status to live and work in America legally because the government doesn't care. But we do here at Green Card Guys. So if you have a situation that you want to ask about, don't be shy at all. I'm here to just share some insights, point you in the right direction. So put your question in the comment box, the chat box. Do not be shy at all, okay? Take advantage of my time. I'm going to be here for about 15 to 20 minutes to answer your questions. And of course, I always have something to share, okay? Something to say. So don't be shy at all. And if you don't mind, if you find this live show helpful, whether today or in the past, please share it with a buddy, okay? Even if it's your enemy, but you know they have an immigration situation, please share it with them, okay? It goes a long way because many of you have come to a situation where there's an immigration problem. Some people think it's a piece of cake. That's a walk in the park. But then suddenly you find yourself in a hole. Sometimes I call it the black hole. Sometimes it could be quicksand and just very difficult to get out. And some of you may have tried to talk to an attorney. Okay, you tried. But if you have tried and you think like, shoot, I don't think that person really gave like good advice, like solid advice. And solid advice doesn't mean that it has to be like, yeah, you're eligible. Like it has to be at least to where you understand what they're saying. And if you don't understand, you should feel comfortable to ask, like, do you mind repeating it? Do you mind rephrasing that? That's actually how we prepare our clients before an immigration interview, because you don't want to answer a question that you don't really understand the question. So, which makes sense, right? So you should do the same when you're consulting a law firm, or even as a client. We always encourage our clients to ask questions. So feel free to do that as well down below. Okay, hope y'all doing well. Oh boy. If you have a case that's related to marriage, you need to know to not expect, or just anything adjustment of status related, do not expect that your interview will be waived. I've heard here and there, I got one comment from like 2 months ago that their interview was waived. Wonderful. But for 99.9% of you, it's not going to be that way. And if you do get it waived, let us know. Let us know in the comments or any of our videos in the past, okay? All right, I see some questions here. Thank you so much for your trust here. And if you're on TikTok, you have an option to join my team. I think it's up there. That, from what I understand, that lets me, if I see that, then I'm going to prioritize your question to ask. And it doesn't cost you anything. Let's see here. Luis Angel Ramal. Can you apply for adjustment of status under the Cuban Adjustment Act if you're already waiting for the 601A? Do you believe you're qualified for that? Because people are still able, if you're qualified, it should still be able to go through, okay, for approval. I'm curious, though, then why did you file the 601A? Did someone else tell you incorrectly, possibly? Oh, boy. So that's an example. Even maybe, and look, I mean, maybe you received solid advice in the past. Could have been 6 months ago, could have been a year ago, and you review with another attorney now, at present time, and maybe one of us said, well, it's a different situation now. Some, laws can change, policies can change, clearly when they're Trump administration more often than not. But maybe the advice you got in the past was solid advice, correct advice, but now it's a different situation. Now it's a different president. So that's why, in general, I always say, look, if you're eligible today, don't wait. Find a way to, especially if you want to hire a lawyer, find a way to collect those funds, okay, to pay for the government fees and pay for your attorney, of course. Because and I know some people say like, oh, you couldn't file because you're trying to save up. Well, look, I mean, I think most of us is probably accurate to say like you're saving for a lot of things. It's not just for like legal fees. Maybe I'm wrong, but like we save up for like Christmas gifts. Maybe one year, I know it's difficult, but maybe one year you maybe not get certain type of gifts. Okay, you need to start your process, start your pathway. EBF camera, what's the good news today? Did you get the resident status? Were you the one that didn't get, but you got a denial letter and then maybe you reopened it? I hope so. I really try to remember y'all's situation. All right. Caribbean Queen. Oh, you were able to get that name? Nice. If you overstay on your visa and you're over 21, can your mom file for you without going back? There's a couple answers to this. Your mom can file a petition for you when you're over 21 and in America, but if you have the opportunity to go back outside the US without overstaying, then I recommend it, okay? Because oh boy, when you overstay your visa and you didn't change your visa type to something else, meaning you did not maintain your status, non-immigrant status, then eventually you still need to apply for the 601A waiver. And when it's a petition through a family preference, okay, not through a spouse, and you're over 21 and your parent is filing for you, then that's a family preference category. And it takes many years. And even on the bulletin, for example, let me see if I got a picture about this. Like this one is filed by a U.S. citizen when his immediate relative. Okay, this includes children, but when you're under 21. Okay, whereas over here, this is F2A category, but it's similar to any F preference category, and there's not even a processing date. Oh, oops. So if you're on YouTube and Facebook, this is what it looks like. Okay, like that. So it is possible. It's just that you have to you have to know the steps. What's up, Neha? Good to see you. EBF camera. You had the interview last Friday for your I-130. Was approved. Great. Now you're waiting for the 485. Okay, so the interview was for the 485 also, I'm assuming. Yeah, I don't know why. Sometimes, so like I had interviews last week, Thursday and Friday, and I checked on Saturday, because I was just a little curious with my clients. Just checked on Saturday, and they were both approved. The 485 was approved, but for some reason, the I-130 still showed scheduled, right? That didn't make sense. But for most of y'all that you share, the I-130 is the one that's approved, but not the 485. That's usually what happens. But for our situation last week, the 485 was approved. So that's the ultimate thing, right? That's for resident status. So that's great. So keep checking your status every day for the I-485 for you, okay? 5 months, see? Not bad. Not bad at all. By the way, y'all, especially if you're a first timer here, welcome. My name is John Ting. I do try my best to answer questions in the order I see them. So don't worry about copy pasting. You don't have to do that unless I ask you. Okay. So let me hide a couple of this one. We got Begotten on YouTube. Your wife submitted I-130 in April. Can you travel to USA? You have a visa. You have never overstayed or run trouble. Your I-130 is routed for the consular processing to Mexico. Okay. I mean, if you have the visitor visa, you can. And even if your I-130 pending, you can visit. Absolutely. As long as your visitor visa is still valid, of course. Okay. That's not a bad thing. That's not a negative thing at all. Okay. Shay, you gotta You got a message saying you have taken action on your case, but nothing showing online. Okay, so oh boy, I need to record a video about that nonsense. the it sometimes does that. Sometimes might not actually see anything, but it's still good to check. It's still good to check. It's one of those like hospital fatigue, in terms of like you hear the bell always ringing. You still want to check anytime you receive an email about that, action has been taken or something. Log in online, check. But sometimes, even for us, we receive that same email. It's like crickets, like nothing changed. So keep checking, okay? So Nihal Patel, EBF camera situation is different. It's completely different. It's their situations for the whole thing, the whole shebang. It's for the 485 at 9130. Nihal Patel, I believe. See, I'm pretty good. I have a decent memory. Nihal Patel, yours is I-130 only because your spouse is abroad. See? RP for 765. It just depends on the category as well. So we don't honestly check that on a day-to-day kind of basis. But Tina, thanks for the question. So some of you have asked, how was my client's interview last week? So I did record some videos. I think it's still in kind of production phase. I used to just record it and then just post it. TikTok makes it a lot easier, but we're trying to streamline it. So sorry, it's taking a little bit longer than expected. And that's okay. We're getting through some kinks here on the marketing team. But here it is. This is what happened. First of all, it got approved. One on Friday got approved on the spot. Okay, it was wonderful. They don't always share it, but I always ask the question at the very end when the officer asks, "Do I have any questions?" And ask, "I'm going to drop it right here. I'm going to share with y'all. You can run with it. Okay, you represent yourself. You can ask the same thing." Here we go. Writing this down. Based on the updated evidence that we provided today, officer, do you expect us to have an RFE? Boom. And just inherently, they're ultimately going to share. Usually, every time I've asked so far, like, nope, we're not expecting to send you RFE. Everything's good to go. And then on Friday, one of them, the officer said, actually just approved you on the spot. Oh, wonderful. Thanks. So there's no like guessing game, because then I know this is stressful, not just for us, but for y'all too. Okay. So, thank you so much for asking. And then one of the officers was very kind, in a different way, in that USCIS has been a bit. I mean, they're always requires to be compliant, but has been a bit loose in a sense that flexible. Flexible is the right word, I suppose. Is that when a person has been had some kind of removal proceeding before, that you have to request bona fide exemption. So sometimes in the past we've done it verbally, but now they want it on paper. It's very strict. So they want it on paper and they want it filed. That request filed at the same time that you filed the I-130. Okay. Now this is not for every I-130 case. This is again for people who are in America, living in America, seeking adjustment of status, meeting the 485 form. Okay. So if you actually have a removal proceeding right now, like active or admin close or even removal order, and you want to file the petition now, you have to file that bona fide exemption request at the same time as I-130. If your beneficiary is abroad, nothing to do about removal proceeding, then you don't need to worry about what I just said. Okay. So, and yes, even if you have an attorney, and usually we don't mention this to the client, but now we're going to be definitely proactive to mention this. So if you have an attorney, a law firm that's helping you with this, guiding you, just kindly ask, by the way, are we submitting this request? Because I heard from, because, most attorneys on these groups I'm in, they don't like it when see like, oh, so my client got this information from a lawyer on TikTok or social media. But for me, I don't mind because I'm confident in what I'm saying. If for any reason your attorney says what I'm saying is incorrect, come back to my channel, let me know. Okay, now switching back to Elisa. Congrats. You can't see me? Can you see me now, Elisa? I don't know, Elisa. Congrats to you. One day after an interview on Wednesday. Where was yours at? Which city? Felix Yardy, you're on step 4 with your 485. What happens next? I don't even know what step 4 is. Maybe USCIS has their own steps. They don't share with us. That's great, Lisa. That's great. Vila people, can biometrics be waived for N400? It maybe. Maybe you might receive something in the mail that says reuse biometrics, but I'm curious why you're asking that because it's not necessarily a quote unquote like a big deal to do biometrics unless I guess you're living far away from where you're supposed to be at. um, maybe you are outside the United States. Is that why? It's hard to predict. The thing is that USCIS is supposed to have biometrics, your fingerprint, the data behind your fingerprints, updated every 18 months, from what I understand. So it could have been already been 18 months by the time you file for N400, most likely. Okay. K. Purdue, your husband has a record. Is it possible to look at convictions and see if it's worth applying for him? Absolutely. K. Purdue, absolutely happy to. Our team's happy to do that. So let's see here. We to do that, we do recommend you at least schedule this kind of meeting. It's called a pre-qualified meeting. Let me see if I can share this on YouTube, like these options. Okay, pre-qualified meeting, like right here. Okay, this option right here. And then during the live show, it's this amount. Okay, this amount during the live show. If you schedule, you call in, you schedule, you fill out the form after the show, it's supposed to be higher, the higher amount. Okay. But ultimately, and that's to help guide you to at least collect the documents, collect information, understand how we do things. And then if you are eligible, then, I mean, if you are for criminal convictions, it really best is for the attorneys to review. But we still say for reviewing criminal documents, it's best to schedule the first one, number one, pre-qualify session, so that because most people, even those criminal conviction, for some reason, it's kind of a waste of time if that's your first meeting with us, because most people don't provide us the documents. So please provide it. Okay, that will save you a lot of time. Okay, so oh man, how much time do I have? All right. By the way, if you're new to the channel and you've been here for at least 60 seconds, thank you so much. Your time is precious. Okay. So go ahead and click. If you're on TikTok, click the plus sign and click the bell for notification. If you're on YouTube and Facebook, I think that is down below here. Okay. Elisa, you still can't see me? Everyone else can still see me, right? That is strange. Then what does it show on your screen if you can't see me? Interesting. Tina, what are good proof of bona fide marriage if your spouse is abroad? It could be however you communicate. It could be like FaceTime log, chat log. I mean, you don't need like a whole archive. You don't need like 50 screenshots. We have done like on a Word document collage of like screenshot of this time period, screenshot of chat log this time period, to consolidate the filing in that sense. You're not if you are abroad or your spouse is abroad, there's no expectation to have a checking account, or credit account together, because in America at a bank you have the both spouses have to sign to add that person to the bank account. I don't know of any bank that where you can add another person but without their signature, or your signature for that matter. So that's just a quick example. All right, Beverly, you can see me. Oh, at least so you can see me too. Maybe I misunderstood. um, I am Ja. You and your husband's I-130 was approved today. Does that mean your 45 will be approved? No, it does not necessarily mean that. I-130, um, just because that's approved does not necessarily mean that your 485 will be approved. And that's because there's two different things. It's not the same situation. Okay. They don't answer the same situation. Okay, and this is what it is. I-130 is to prove the bona fides of your marriage and also your relationship. Meaning if one spouse has been married before, was that spouse divorced in a timely manner? Or at least that your subsequent marriage happened on a timely manner after the divorce. Okay, believe it or not, some people mess that up. Some people do. And then the 45 is about the immigrant beneficiaries inadmissibility, if any of those can trigger, meaning could be reasons for denial and even possibly removed from the United States of America. So it's two different things. One does not necessarily mean it's going to be approved for the other. But if the 45 is approved, then I-130 has to be approved. It just might not happen the same day. I know it's totally weird. Fern, yes. Let's see. Okay, someone name on TikTok, Tete Surma. Let me see if I can pin this comment so I don't lose it. You're a citizen and you filed for your children's paperwork I-130 since 2024, May 15th. So that was a year ago. Okay. I-130, and I'm assuming, are they abroad? Yeah. Any case, any beneficiary you apply for, at least with respect to immediate relative, it's likely going to take at least 12 months. So, which for you, TT Surma, that is 12 months. So, all right, y'all. So, if you have a pending case, if you have a petition on file, you have an application on file, and it's processing, it's pending, put the letter P in the comments. Okay. Put the letter P. I'm going to just assume by default that it has to do with adjustment of status, 485. But if it's for something else, let us know. Okay. Now, this helps me share some insights. And then let's take it a step further. If you believe your case is stuck, like in a black hole or something, that your quote unquote your file's lost, um, whether you believe it could be filed mandamus lawsuit or not, I'll let you know. Let me know. Put the letter D in the comments for delayed, and put the month and year that you filed the application, and we can talk about it. All right. Now, if it's your first time on the channel, put the number 1 in a chat box. I always think it's interesting how far our social media channels have reached, because there's a shit ton of immigration problems. Oops, I shouldn't have said that way. But there really are. There's too many. It's not a piece of cake. It may seem like it should be a piece of cake. The USCIS.gov website seems informative. It seems informative. The Department of State travel.state.gov website seems informative. But it's not a website, it's not a government website set up to tell you step by step what to do. Okay. It's not set up that way. Okay. We just got news, fresh off the press. We just got we just got an interview notice, real time. I'm sharing insights with you real time here. Let me click on this client's file, and this person might even be on the live show right now. So if your initials start with a J, and I can't say the rest really, but whoa, we just filed this in April 2025, and the interview was It's hot off the press. My team member's typing in right now. June 18th. Oops. June, mid of June 2025. Interview scheduled. So my math is correct. Mid April, May, mid June. That's 2 months. Dos meses. I usually don't dance, but I'll do a little dance right here. 2 months. Now, look, I'm not saying that my client got scheduled that quick because of us. Okay. I've been told I'm supposed to say that, but yes, we prepare the package to where we try our best to prevent an RFE, try our best to prevent a request for evidence and annoyed. Okay. So if you want the most peace of mind and you're gonna hire a law firm, I'm a little biased. You might want to consider our team, Green Card guys. I have a lot of wonderful friends across the country that they do good work as well. But look, y'all, you need a team that's proactive. It's like a drum beat, a consistent drum beat that knows what to do. Okay. So once it just to kind of give you an idea of what we do on our side, once we got the interview notice like today, we're gonna call the client. We're gonna if the client does not answer because you're working, all good, no problem, no problemo. We're gonna email you, um, and then we're gonna email you with the link to schedule a prep meeting. And if like 2 or 3 days pass by, you don't schedule yet, we're gonna start wondering what the hell you're doing, and we're gonna go ahead and just schedule you for a meeting because we don't want clients to complain and say, "Hey, you didn't let me know about this." Like, yeah, bro, we did let you know and we in fact even invite you to a meeting. Fortunately, we haven't had that situation, but where someone didn't acknowledge our phone call. We kind of feel like this is a dating relationship. Our relationship is short term. Okay, I didn't imagine it'd be short like 2 months for this client, but some clients tell us that they don't want to hear from us anymore after their case, and I totally understand because we bugged the hell out of y'all during the case. Yeah. Alisa, I know that. Alisa, we just signed up for a new program to get it more timely. We just signed up for a program to get more timely. So it's a race. It's a race now, y'all. I want to beat it to the client to get so that we know first. I don't know why, but at least because the online account, you're supposed to know sooner. But it's off to the races now. All right, Bella, let's see your question. Nachi, good to see you. I did get your email. I haven't got a response about that yet. About which consulate? Mm, C Kindle. What was your question? You beat your lawyer. He didn't even know exactly. Elisa, I'm trying to get to it. Bella. Let's see. uh, okay, Bella. I apologize. I don't see your question. I did see your comment though. I am just a little excited right now when I see news like that. I know, RP. I'm so sorry. When did you file though, RP? RP says seeing people apply in March to get approved right now is disappointing. Some people get approved super quick. I don't. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. Hopefully, some of y'all don't have to file a mandamus lawsuit, but it does cost money for it. Wow, that was super quick. Now I'm looking at more details here for this client. EAD was issued less than 30 days. Holy smokes, this might be a record for us. 2 months? No, I think we got one month. Okay, Bella, did you see Bella? You have CR1 conditional green card and removal is due in 7 months. Well, what's your question though, Bella? RP, you filed in February 13th this year for 485. Is that what you filed as well? Rana, where's your question at, Rana? Your friend terminated. Okay, I see it. Your friend terminated what? Court case and got married to U.S. citizen in December. Is he safe right now? I don't know. You're gonna have to get your friend on the live show. I can't answer that. That's too broad. That's too broad of a question. And I'm not trying to be like resistant to answer questions. It's just too broad of a question. Like, are you saying safe now from ICE? No, I can't. I can't say that. These days, like, but in the past, like before Trump was in office, I could say normally I would say ICE would not go to your home or your workplace if you don't have any crimes. But that's not the situation now. Is not true. That's not the same situation. It can be confusing. I would like to think that ICE agents are focused on people who have some crimes, but that does not seem to be true. They're picking up people who have apparently talked about people being murdered and genocide in Gaza, which is RIP for those people, those families there. It's ridiculous. I can talk long about that, but long story short, it's effed up. So, um, yeah, I mean, people, ICE agents picking up student visa holders, even if their crime was their traffic violation was already taken care of, resolved. So it's super ridiculous. um, yeah, the scale of which it, and I think it may also seem like it's a lot in terms of scale, maybe because it's shown on media, right? In the past, it was like I didn't see any video. I don't recall seeing videos before. I mean, this is one of the main reasons I went to law school in terms of helping people exercise due process rights. But it's like the wild west right now. Trump doesn't give a flip about due process. So, I mean, which is kind of interesting because you would think he cares about due process for his own cases as when he was a defendant. So, interesting how that works in life. Um, under Bush, under Obama, people were getting picked up at homes also, home raid, work raids as well. Work raids are usually increased the frequency when there's a Republican president, but this is kind of the era of I don't give a shit type of situation. So I can't say if someone's safe. And technically, I know there's some talk about like if someone filed an application for adjustment of status, does that give them some kind of legal ability to stay here? No, it does not. Until you get resident status. Now, if you have non-immigrant visa status, that's different. You should be able to stay here. But until you get resident status or become a U.S. or yeah, resident status, you're subject to removal. And I know no one likes to hear this, but yes, it is still important to file an application because if you were to go to court eventually, like we had a court hearing today, all right, fortunately it was WebEx, thank God. Um, the uh, the judge will want to know. The judge will give you a little bit more flexibility if they know that you have the application on file. Okay, because I need to record a video about this, but essentially the NTA notice to appear is like a if it was like criminal context, it's like a charging document, and in the middle it says the charges. So even if you overstay, that's a reason for ICE to pick you up to get to detain you. So and hopefully you get released. That you have an attorney to seek bond release. Okay. Uh, Bella, Bella, I did see it, but I didn't see a question. Bella's comment says CR1 conditional green card and removal is due in 7 months. That was not a question. I don't construe it as a question. Did you have a question that's follow up? You're welcome to ask. Which, by the way, this is a good example that it just might be better to join a live show, join as a guest. Okay, if you're on YouTube and Facebook, I do have our email scrolling down below, so you can email in to request a link. If you're on TikTok, down here. I don't know, Bella. You said seriously, but I don't see a question. I just see your statement. You just said your remove condition due in 7 months. I don't know why you guys say seriously or not. I just don't see it. Other than that, I'm trying to help you all out. Don't give me a hard time. Don Paulus, you said it's tough in Texas. What's tough in Texas? What do you think is tough in Texas? No, look, some of y'all don't see this, but like I literally get a flood of questions, comments, and I really appreciate it. But I'm trying to go, Bella, you must be new to this thing. Bella said, let's help Bella out here. You must be new to this TikTok thing for immigration lawyers answer questions. Fucking get on the live show. Okay? You want to ask a question, get on a live show because I'm calling you out because you're trying to call me out, right? Why this Bella person, I think this is hilarious, y'all. This person says, you read every comment except for my question. Um, why would I skip your question? I literally just told you join the live show. If you're not willing to join a live show as a guest, you must be afraid. Let me call you out. You must be afraid to join the live show. All right. Because I literally just said I read your comment here. Let me pin it so everyone can see it. I have C1R conditional resident card. Removal is due in 7 months. That is not a question. Now, again, you must be new here because TikTok does this thing, and I'm not trying to give you a hard time. Am I? I don't know because you're giving me a hard time. TikTok does this thing that it hides some comments that I can't see. In the past, before TikTok was banned for like 12 hours or something, I used to be able to see everyone's comment. Now I only see half of the comments that are hidden. So don't give me a fucking hard time, okay? You want an attorney's answer, you got to schedule a meeting. This is free, y'all. Don't mess around, y'all. I'm just trying to help you out for free. I'm just trying to save y'all 3 digits, okay? This is hilarious. Okay. Now let me go back up to the top. Okay. Someone named okay, someone asked, how do you answer the question, have you worked without authorization? The person had a J1 SSN. Okay, with the SSN. So if you overstayed your visa and you're married to a US citizen, then yes, you check mark yes that you worked without authorization if that's true because it waives the USCIS policy manual states in there that it waives um, any immigration violation about working without a work permit. Okay. Watchful eyes. Why do I have to use curse words? To be honest, I don't usually curse in my personal life. Um, but when it comes to live show, it's also disrespectful when people don't understand how this works. And if I already said like 5 times I read your comment, I don't see a question. I think it's disrespectful for someone to keep saying that I'm cursing. I'm like missing their question. And I'm like intentionally missing. I don't fucking intentionally miss questions. So if you don't like this, go somewhere else. Okay. Seriously, like I'm just trying to help y'all out. I'm happy to answer questions, but again, this is all free. Now, someone asked, what is a $5, 50 and 100? So if you schedule a live show, if you schedule a I mean, if if you schedule a meeting with us with a pre-qualified session, then if you schedule it during the live show, it's this amount. Okay, the 100 is to showcase to you the value at least of our meetings. And this pre-qualified session right here is not with an attorney. Okay, like this one is not with an attorney. Okay, so don't expect that. It's okay, Bella. You're welcome to join the live show. It's just that people don't understand. Can I invite you? And it's not really just for you, like anyone else. I don't see your name on here to invite you, but you're welcome to join. So it's really to show the value here because if you got the situation right now, you're asking me the question, then it's to give you a little more incentive to take action here, which is what I would put over here, right? um, because some of y'all like join my live show like a year later, schedule a meeting with us, and it's too late. You might not be eligible. So it's to provide you a little incentive in that sense. But a lot of attorneys that I know, they charge the 3 digits, okay? Watchful eyes, it's okay. I know. I usually don't curse, y'all. It's just when it comes to my day job, please take no offense. And if you got kids around, I'm sorry. I don't curse in front of my kids either. So you might not want to watch my show when you're around kids. So yeah, if you want to join live, it's down below on TikTok. It's the little people icon. It should show guest. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm also in Texas, so it's a little hot here. Forgive me. Forgive my sins of cursing. Let's see. Okay. Now let me scroll up. Uh, Rana, did I answer your question? Okay. Someone named User. Do people have to go back to Mexico? Let me see if we can pin the comment. Do people have to go back to Mexico for military parole in place? Um, your parents' attorney said they must. What? 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 The purpose of military parole in place is to not leave the United States at all, at all. In military parole place, um, oh boy, you might want to send an email to clarify that and ask why. Who knows? Maybe it's because the USCIS field office denied the 131 application. Maybe that happened. Maybe because sometimes, very few times that happens with us. But if that happens, then we have to pivot, okay, to another legal strategy, which the default in that sense would be to file what we call the waiver, 601A waiver, okay, which can only be filed after the petition. All right, y'all. Sorry, I get a little animated here, but sometimes it's clearly to emphasize certain things. All right. Chi on YouTube. What is a strategy to represent a person who received a fine in the millions? What you get in the mail? Fine for what? That you did not register for the alien registration? Is that what happened? What you talking about? I'm kind of curious. I did see something on an attorney message board that someone received a document from allegedly DHS that someone was fined several $1 million for not registering. But if you don't mind, Chi, email us to the email that you see scrolling down below. I'd be very curious what if that was really from DHS. Be gone on YouTube. Your plan is just visit for a week and leave this time. You're traveling to USA while I-130 pending. How long do I think it will take your case to be completed start to end? Probably 2 years. Anything consular processing related can take a long time, even through marriage. I used to say a year to year and a half, but that's not true anymore. It hasn't been true since the pandemic, 2020. Can you believe it? It's 2025 now. So yeah, you expect, and that can affect your relationship with your partner. It's the truth. So you just have to be ready. That's why it's good to join my live show from time to time, or schedule a meeting with our team, so you get the real time insights. But I'm just trying to save you all some dinero. So schedule. You can join a live show in the meantime. Oh, I mean, I'm not going to answer hypothetical questions in that sense. I don't know what they do. Yeah, it'd be kind of curious if for the person who asked about fines, I'd be kind of curious how DHS will actually enforce it. But I guess if whoever is not going to register is probably someone who likely is not eligible to apply, or maybe a permanent bar and not intending to leave USA. But that's why in general, I if you're eligible for something, it is important to take action and file as soon as you're eligible. Don't sit around. Don't sit on your hands. Okay, in that sense. Okay. Let's see. I need to drink some water here while I read some TikTok comments here. Okay, Claudius. After the submission of RFE for green card, how long will it take for decision? Um, it's not a set timing. I mean, fortunately for us, knock on wood, that it would continue to be about 30 days for us. But there's no black and white timing in terms of USCIS decision after you provide the response to RFE. Sometimes online, the USCIS case status will show response received. But timing, I don't know. I don't know for y'all because whatever happens for us is not going to be the same for you. Milk Dawn, I'm not sure. It's not. It's also not the same for every situation. Could be 30 days, could be 60 days, but good to follow up with. Abio Dunn Brown. If someone is charged with misdemeanor class C and due for citizenship, can you can you still file for us? It depends on the timing. Was the crime if it, in terms of citizenship, if it was within the crime happened in the last 5 years, I recommend waiting. Okay, even if it's a C, class B, C, um, or A, recommend waiting at least 5 years of clean, good moral character, and that even includes that the probation period has to be outside before the 5 year window or whichever period for a good moral character. Okay. Eight triple HD 449. You filed a 485 in April. Had the biometrics mid May. Interview waived. Okay, so it may appear to be a good thing that your online account says interview waived, but it's likely 99% not true. I'm not sure why they do that. Okay. I know it's frustrating because it's kind of misleading, or I mean, it is misleading. But again, just expect that USCIS will schedule your case for interview if you apply for adjustment of status. It just is Bella still on? Bella, you can still. Yeah, okay. It happened to you, Elisa. So if anyone, Elisa, can you email that to us, Elisa? We care at greencardguys.com because I'm interested in how they phrase it. And if you have a receipt number, I'll scrap. We'll block it off. Um, no, Okay, Moha, you're still waiting. I don't. I I am very grateful. I have to say I'm very grateful. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's us, maybe it's not. But when we go to the interviews, especially when we have one of our attorneys be at the interview, we tend to get the status, like the decision, like on the spot or like the next day. We've been very, very fortunate. I don't know what it is with y'all that as not with us, but maybe you. I don't think it's like it's not. Maybe not. Maybe you did find the interview. Maybe it's like documentation, but maybe it's how we phrase things in the interview. But look, if you have not filed your case or you have filed already, and you're thinking like, do you need a lawyer at the interview or not? These are one of the situations that, although of course I cannot guarantee that just because one of us attorneys at the Green Card Guys law group, even if we're at the interview, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get it like the next day, right? But it seems to be like consistent for our cases. 45, very fortunate. What's up, JKC Motivation? Good to see you. Bella, you said it's telling you to authorize camera recording to join. Trying to fix that. Oh, that's weird. Because you don't have to have your camera on. Like everyone has a camera off. Is that you now? Oh, there we are. All right, we got Bella on. We're getting Bella on. Okay, Bella has a remove condition case.
Hello?
Hello.
Do you hear
Hi.
me?
Yes.
Hi, sorry
Hi.
about all that.
Oh,
It's
that's
my
okay.
first time on here.
Welcome to TikTok. How can I help you?
Thanks. Yeah, so my question is my removal of my condition for 10-year green card is like 7 months away. So Currently, I'm having a few troubles in my marriage. Friends are threatening. They're involved as well, threatening deportation,
Oh my.
saying they'll file a letter stating the marriage is sham and that I'm a fraud. And then a husband is also siding with them, saying because you haven't been financially helping me, that if we do go to a USCIS interview, that he will claim marriage not being real. And so right now I'm stuck. I know they're trying to intimidate me and like it's a control tactic,
Mhm.
but I'm also kind of stuck. I'm considering divorce, and when I did mention that to him, he brought up post-nup, and on that he stated, "Oh, because I don't want to be liable, uh, the I-864, the financial
Oh.
affidavit of support."
Oh.
Yeah, so because he wants no obligation to do with it, he put it on the post-nup and had me asked me to sign it, and I refused.
Mhm.
And so yeah, it's a whole mess. Just need a guide.
Oh yeah. I'm glad you joined the live show because that was a lot. Thank you so much for sharing to be vulnerable.
Mhm.
Okay. So I think the first thing to answer. So you got 7 months to go until you're eligible to apply the 71. I
Yeah.
think that's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good job that you know that. Put it on your calendar because you want to file it as soon as that 3 month window opens. Okay. So um, you didn't ask this, but just in case, in terms of timing, if you do file for divorce, you don't have to actually be divorced when you file the 751. I know that their checklist says divorce order or divorce decree.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to provide it until later. You expect the RFE later on, but okay. But you at least provide a copy of the divorce petition, the first
Okay.
legal document. Okay. And then um, you said someone else said something like his family got involved or what?
Yes, they did get involved. I
Oh,
was just reaching out to the mom in case she could help out because we were having misunderstandings.
uh-huh.
But she flipped on me
Oh, snap.
and started blaming me because I mentioned, okay, like if nothing works out, we could just divorce. And as soon as she heard divorce, she, yeah, started
Mm,
bullying me.
mm. Sorry to hear that. But here we go. Here's some action plan. Okay, so you put on your calendar. In the meantime, when you do decide to take a action for divorce, um, which state are you in, by the way?
Alabama.
Alabama. I don't know someone off the top of my head, but if you do need a divorce lawyer in Alabama, please reach out, DM, and I'll have a team member
Okay.
check for you. Okay. All
All
right.
right. Thank you.
We want to try our best for anyone, including you, Bella, to save you time to find an attorney. Now, this just for divorce, if it's true, it sounds like it is. Like if there's some kind of abuse, whether it's verbal, it does not have to be physical abuse. Then in your state of Alabama, you do want to add in still claim that there's been some kind of abuse. Okay. um, so that the divorce petition can be proof, at least one proof that there has been some kind of abuse. And you can provide that with your remove condition application. Okay. In the meantime,
Mhm.
um, let's see. Some people might not think that counseling sessions help, but
Mhm.
it could be helpful and certainly will be helpful for your 751 case. Okay.
Mhm. We
So
did,
that's something to think
sorry
about.
to interrupt.
Hmm.
We did do counseling. We just didn't finish the whole session. We did probably 5 sessions and we just stopped.
Okay, okay. That actually might be proof that you are continued your relationship because if it was a quote unquote alleged fake relationship, then why would you go through counseling, right? Doesn't that make sense, everyone?
Yeah.
So because it takes time, it takes commitment, time commitment to do it, block out time to do it. So and he sounds like he showed up. So that is a good sign in that sense for you, for your proof. But also, what I also meant is counseling for yourself as an individual. You might
Oh,
want to consider that for the future. Um, and this is protected by HIPAA, health protect information. So maybe if at the very least the counselor or therapist can write like kind of just a letter showing the dates you went to the counseling at the
you
minimum.
mean the you mean the individual counseling for
Uh-huh.
myself?
Yeah, and
Okay, because I
also
did.
someone else for the whoever else therapist for the joint counseling, the marriage counseling,
Oh,
to just show at least the dates of the session, or just to say like, oh yes, they both attended marriage counseling with me numerous
okay.
times, something. So it doesn't necessarily violate HIPAA because they
Okay,
might
I did
ask
do
you.
individual counseling as well. I
Oh,
did
okay.
see a therapist for myself. Does that help anything?
Um, yes, it will help. Yep. Hmm. Let's see what else. Okay, so that's to get you started. And while you may still live with him, then
Mm-hmm.
any kind of evidence that you can find, because some people still receive bills in the mail. Um, if it's online, you want to check login online. In the meantime, while you still have access to online account, and just download those statements into a safe, secure cloud folder. Okay.
Okay. I have joint account with him, so I do have a few statements and bills that I paid while I was working.
Uh
So
huh. Okay, and then also, especially anyone that's in a what do you call, like, abusive relationship, you want to make sure that you change your passwords to things that he should not have access to, like your email. Like it
yeah.
literally has to be completely random. If you have iPhone, I know they can scramble a password and create a new one for you, the iCloud passwords. So, don't do like your date of birth or something. Some people just use like something common about yourself. You don't want to do that. Got to be completely random so your partner does not try to guess your password.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Well, um, hopefully, and also if it doesn't sound like you need it, but if anyone in general, not just you, Bella, needs some kind of social services agency to guide you more in depth than this, what I'm sharing here now, please reach out to my team, and we'll find it, because I'm a board advisor of a group here in Houston, so that's top of mind for me.
Okay, and one
All right.
last question. So all the threats, and even if they do send in letters, written letters, him or his family member, would that out validate my documents that I have to prove I entered in a good faith? And in case I decided to work in the marriage and he files jointly with me and he goes to the interview with me, if he maybe, because I feel like he's just saying that maybe to scare me or something, but if he does sit in that interview room with them and say something, like if I have a legit proof,
Uh-huh.
would that affect anything?
So when you file an interview in the future, your interview in the future will not be with him, because on the 751, you're going to check mark like a waiver and abuse option under the classification option. Is that what you're referring to, the future interview?
Yes, yes, to remove my 2 years condition.
Okay. Yeah, typically there's no interview. There can be.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
if they believe could be fraudulent or lack of evidence,
Mm.
it's not common to have interview. Doesn't
Oh,
always,
I thought,
it's
okay.
not automatic. So you definitely don't need him. Mm-mm.
Oh,
Not
okay.
because it's not going to be joint. You're not going to get him to sign it. So fortunately, you can. There's two options really: married, or the other option's not married or separate.
Okay. I
Okay.
thought we filed jointly if we are in a.
Only if you're still married and intend to stay married. But that's not your situation. And okay, and then the last part you mentioned about the post nup.
Yes, yes.
uh, you It's difficult for me to provide advice for you in the family law side of it, but
Mm-hmm.
in the purpose of the 864 for a U.S. citizen sponsor sign it is that actually as the immigrant beneficiary, you can, for some odd reason, sue the U.S. citizen in the future if he or
Mm,
she is not somehow fulfilling their duty as a sponsor. But
yeah.
if you're trying to move on from this dude, then I
Mm.
think
No,
it's
yeah.
generally okay to just waive that part, to say you're not, just to let him know like you're not going to pursue any kind of lawsuit. You can't sign something. I'm not talking about the post nup, but you can't sign something to share to USCIS that you're not going to pursue it. You can only sign it maybe in your post nup.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did tell him verbally that I won't have him
Yeah.
support me after the marriage if we divorce, that he doesn't have to worry about that, but he says I have to put that in writing or something, and it's so yeah, but thank you so much.
Absolutely. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to. Sorry, TikTok didn't see my question or your question
No,
earlier.
it's good. This is better because it was
There's
just
a lot of
the part
information,
that I
right?
sent. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bella. Take care.
All right, you too.
um, that's an example of you know me taking time to really understand a person's situation, um, and trying to learn, trying to learn more, right? So then I can advise a person better. Of course, I social media, it's a wild thing in that of course this is not, I, I'm required to say this is not legal advice. This is for information purpose only. But I do encourage you to schedule a meeting when you get a chance for further information specific to your situation. Okay. So one of these meetings, if you're on YouTube, TikTok, or Facebook. Okay. But this is also me. I realize I'm gonna be vulnerable here for a second, that I could have responded in a more kind way earlier and to chill out. And it's um sometimes when you read things like text message or something, or like here, we take it, like me, I took it the wrong way. So I apologize to Bella or anyone that was offended how I said something. So anyways, moving on to answer some of your questions. Whew, let's see. Moria, how long are courts taken to reopen a withholding case when approved I-130? Uh, it seems to be about 30 days, but that's not like a hard fast rule in a sense in terms of timing. At least 30 days minimum. It could take longer. But if it's like a year, then you may need to talk to your lawyer again to see if there's something, maybe refile the motion, maybe add more information to the motion. Excuse me. And sometimes all it takes is to call the clerk. Believe it or not, call the clerk and just kindly ask, "Hi, so and so, any chance that my motion to blah blah blah, my motion to reopen blah blah is in queue for this, judge so and so on their desk, okay, or at least on a computer system." By the way, if you, and sometimes that works. Sometimes it works. And if they're like, "Oh no, I don't see it in the queue, but can you let me know when you mailed it in?" Then they can trace back, and maybe they don't have it, but maybe they don't have anymore. They've sorted through all the mail after all those months. All right, so I see there's another person joined that wants to join. Okay, I think I got about 5 minutes left. Okay, so I do see someone named Lord Ken. I'm going to get you on soon, but I do want to share with you at least 4 scenarios that you want to contact an immigration attorney here at greencardguys.com. Okay, number one, if you receive a request for evidence (RFE), whether you file by yourself or you have an attorney, but they're not responsive to you. Now, look, I'm not saying like if it's only been 24 hours, if it's only been 48 hours and they haven't responded, and especially if it was over the weekend, let's give them some time, right? But that's why, by the way, attorneys, if you're watching this right now or later on, you got to make it easy for your clients. So what we do is that we have a button that you can click under our email signature to schedule a meeting. When you're a client, you schedule a meeting. You don't have to ask us questions. You don't have to call in. You don't have to text us. You don't even have to email us to ask for a meeting. You just click it and schedule. How easy is that? Okay. So Second scenario, if you get a a notice of intent denied, NOID in the mail, that does not mean denied. You still have a chance. I like to flip it on its head and say that the USCIS is giving you this one shot, this one opportunity to change their mind that you have a bona fide relationship. Okay. So you have 30 days or less to reply to that. So don't play any funny games and try to figure out, like, oh, maybe I'll hire an attorney. No, you fucking need to hire an attorney. Okay. Like, there's no ifs and ands about that. About maybe RFE you could do yourself, but NOID, if you don't want to waste money and have to refile, and hopefully there's a chance an attorney can help you, you need literally the same day you get an NOID, you call my team. Okay. You schedule a meeting. Of course, it doesn't have to be us. Call any attorney, schedule a meeting. Like 1 week passes by, then you literally lose like 5 to 7 days. Don't play around. This is why I share this every live show. Okay. Third scenario is the denial. If you get denial, you also have 30 days or less to you should. I see your comment there, Lisa. I know some people have told me I should be a coach for other attorneys. I don't know if they would let me do this in law school because I'll be cursing. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse. Maybe did any of my professors curse? I can't remember that. Yes, bless girl, you should receive an email to confirm that. You might also see something on your online, like literally on the screen when you change your address, like some kind of confirmation number. I would just copy that confirmation number, but you should also receive that by email. The fourth situation, the fourth scenario you definitely need to contact my team is if you think your case is delayed. Okay. My team follows a chart. It's also collaborate with other attorneys that I know and speak with about mandamus lawsuits for delays or denials. Look, some of you have been waiting like 4 years. 4 years for any application is ridiculous. Your life is on hold because of that. Now, I'm not saying that you can't go to Costco, you can't go to your favorite club at night or your poker club. I'm not saying that, okay? I'm saying like it can be holding you up from your ability to level up on your income, get a better paying job, maybe even um, just traveling abroad. Maybe some of you are homebodies, but even if you're a homebody, want to stay at home, I bet you might have a partner or a kid tugging at you saying, "Mom, Dad, let's get the F out. Let's go to Disney World." Okay? So you gotta be ready for that. Don't sit on your case and just think that USCIS is gonna magically, let me pull it out, magically give you status. Okay? You gotta fight for your status, y'all. We're here to help you. All right, let's get Lord Ken on. All right, Lord Ken, listen to all that still on. All right, Lord Ken's gonna be a last live guest for today. If this person's still on. Okay. In the meantime, so Elisa said she paid her attorney so much and you teach him more than he did. Or I teach more than he did. You should have talked to me before. It's all good. That's all gravy. This is, for me, this is like another full-time job to have a live show. College kid, 777s, it seems delayed, but you have some time before your master hearing in 2027. Last year? What happened last year? Did you file a petition? Okay, I guess Lord Ken is no longer on. Oh boy, user 2412. You sent an RFE for medical last May, 1 year ago, and you have not heard anything since? Boy, oh boy. It's time. It's likely time to file a lawsuit. It's likely time. And especially if this is for I-130 or 485 case. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. If you have any questions and you cannot wait for my next live show, it's all good. You have the option to schedule a meeting on TikTok. It's right here. Okay. on YouTube. It's right over here. All right. So take advantage. It's going to show up on your screen, or if you click on TikTok, the profile page. Okay. The profile page, you can click the link. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, it looks like this. It should be down below. All right. I wish you all the best. And thank you so much for your time. If you haven't followed yet and you've been here for at least 60 seconds, I appreciate it. Go ahead and follow and click the bell for future notifications. Peace.